off because I'm in my car. We're without power.
Who's without power?
Anthea is without power.
Yeah, well, I had to put on a shirt. I was standing outside on the patio, and I had to put on a shirt for this meeting.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
warm today.
Yeah, it's supposed to get a little warmer, too. And let's see here. Are we recording?
Yep.
I'm recording. Wow. I set this up to automatically record when the meeting started. And hey, Scott.
How you doing, Fred? Sorry, I'm waiting for my camera to flip here.
I was just trying to, get with the rhythm with you.
I know. Let's see if there we go.
How's it going, Fred?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm doing well. Is that Darren?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Darren, how come you're not on camera? Hey, if an ugly old guy like me can get on camera, so can you. There you go. Let's see here. I'm going to shut this off. All right. Very, very good. Good to see y'all. Heather, how are you? I see Catherine. Hi, Catherine, Joni, and Kate minus Brian. All right, and we're going to double check. I see Steve's desk. Oh, there's Steve. Hey, Steve. Good to see you.
Good evening.
And let's see here. We got another minute. We'll get going. Just in case I forget to mention it. Hey, Danielle, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Happy Thursday.
I'm sorry?
Happy Thursday.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see. In case I forget to mention it, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock Pacific, we'll have our workshop. Two things. Be early, or at least on time. We're going to start right at 8 o'clock. I'm going to have Tommy Chapa join us once we get rolling and have him share his story. I think I shared this with you guys before. I met Tommy a couple of years ago in the gym, and at one of the big conventions, Salt Lake City, and I was just totally impressed with him. He's the real deal. He's the real deal, and I was about to say it's hard to find in our industry, but not in our company, which is kind of interesting. Tommy has graciously agreed to come on for a few minutes. He's going to share his story. I encouraged him to share the story behind the story. Too often, folks, I think we share the story, and it's kind of like, I fell out of an 18-wheeler. I hit the ground. I jumped up and dusted myself off, and I was in a $2,000 suit, and I, could communicate like a keynote speaker in front of 5,000 people. Guess what? Oh, and by the way, made several $1 million, just like that. Guess what? That didn't happen. Okay. What we see today, whenever you find somebody that's created, a six-figure income annually or multiple six-figure annual incomes, there's always more to the story than background and motivation to get involved, how I got started and what I did. Okay, what we don't share is the challenges that we went through. What did Chris say today? Every opportunity has adversity. Okay, don't pray for rain and then complain about the mud. And so, what our profession is nothing more than average people putting in above average effort with an extraordinary opportunity. That's it. Okay? No magic to it. if there was magic to it, then we could just sprinkle fairy dust on everybody. Hey, Melissa, how are you? You're not Melissa. You're Andrea. I see Andrea, but your name says Melissa.
Mine did? Oh, you know what? It's because we used her login on my computer at the event that we had last week.
There you go. That's okay. I thought you were testing me. I was going to say, don't test me. Okay, not this week. So anyway, so Tommy's going to be on. I encourage you to be, promptly right on the money. I will start right on the money. And I've encouraged Tommy to, everybody's busy. And the only reason Tommy can come on this Saturday, because there's a big Super Saturday event going on in his area. His son is undergoing a surgical procedure, and so he's going to be with his son, and he's graciously said he'll drop in on our meeting. And that was our conversation, I think, a week ago. I emailed him. I haven't heard back, but I'm assuming we're still on. And if he has a moment, we're not going to try. We're going to not keep him for more than like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But I've asked him to answer a question or two if he's open to it, and to share the story behind the story. Okay, I think it's important for everybody to understand. Because reality. I look at Amy McKenzie. Amy McKenzie is one of those people that was ramping up her business at the beginning of the challenges that we had with Zija. Okay, the adjustments, as David refers to it. And she's paid a price to be here. The interesting thing is that in a lot of ways, she's going to be very much like my story in Zija. I had an organization in place when the first wave hit. Yes, Danielle, absolutely. If you're willing to pay the price of time and go through the struggles, then you deserve the benefits. And so I'm excited about what's going to be happening with her. Now, what I wanted to do is take just a moment. I got a lot of feedback about a topic I had last week. Some of you missed it. I didn't record the call. I want to just real briefly, because some of you got it, some of you didn't. I want to go over the concept of the 4 selves, because it's very timely for now. The 4 selves. Okay. First one is self-responsibility. See, we cannot take responsibility for our distributors. I brought in a brand new distributor. This couple, they are big guns. Okay, they were big guns in my very first company. I didn't know them. I knew of them back then. And then some of you know that story, bad timing with that company. We had to transition out. The second company came in, and I talk about the story. I hit that company at the beginning of the wave. Well, it wasn't the beginning of the wave, okay? It took a while to get to the 100 million a year with that company, but I used the story. The story is always, okay, we need to, that's probably Verdina. Hi, Verdina.
Hi, Fred. Trouble with my computer.
Okay. That's never happened to any of us. I don't know what the problem is.
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to mute you. Hey, Dougie, how are you, sir? Looking good. All right, so I got a little distracted there. Oh, okay, so that with that second company, I tell the story in a fashion that's meaningful for today with Zija. I talk about hitting that company, at the beginning of the wave, $100 million a year. Well, we weren't $100 million a year when I started, okay? They were running about 10 or 12 million a year. And so it took, probably about 24 months with that company to get them up there. But why do I tell my story in terms of getting in ahead of the wave, ahead of that, exponential growth curve? Because that's where Zija is. I want the prospect to recognize they could be at the same point in time that I was when I made a fortune in the industry. Reality is that it took a while to get to that point in time. And so this couple, and I always admired them because they were such strong business builders. They'd made a fortune in that first company, but like so many of the people, when that company went from $512 million in their 5th year to almost nothing in their 6th year, and I joined then, a lot of the people in that company couldn't stick around for another 7 years to get the company to come back. And, you know, this couple was part of that. They were big guns in the second company, okay? And that's where we got to work together. Ken Brailsford level of integrity in these folks. Now, they're in their, you know, early 70s, mid 70s. So I was always the kid to them. Gary still teases me. But they just came into Zegen. Okay, just came in. All right. I've never, ever brought anybody into this company from my last companies. Well, one guy that ended up, you know, getting himself terminated because he's an idiot. Name will remain anonymous. But these are the only people I've ever brought into the company that have multi-level background. Exception Doug and Amy Stroop. Okay, Doug and Amy Stroop. You know, they were, you know, $10,000 a month income earners in their previous company. They've eclipsed that level of income in Zegen. All right. So the point I'm trying to make here, self-responsibility, the first of the 4 selves. They texted me a question, which I could have very easily answered. And this is what my response was. The number to distributor support, give them a call. Okay, now, why did I do that? Because it's too easy for me to be the person who answers the question. And you know, Gary understood what was going on. You know, he realized what he did. He called me for something he could have figured out on his own, when he really needs to be calling me for me to share my story. Okay, it's such a joy to work with professionals. So anyway, first self, we got to be self-responsible. We got to be responsible for ourselves. Your upline isn't going to make you successful. Your downline isn't going to make you successful. If it's going to be, it's up to me. Second self is self-determination. Okay, we have to be the masters of our destiny. There is no way that we as sponsors can help our distributors, you know, have that determination to succeed. There's nothing we can do for them. The only thing we can do for our distributors is to help them get in, get trained, get going, and share our stories. Okay, that's what we do. Third self, motivation, self-motivation. I wish I got paid by the number of times that people have called me up and say, Fred, can you speak to my distributor? They need some motivation, and you're so good at that. Folks, we cannot motivate our distributors, nor can you get motivation from somebody else. That has to come from within. If you'll recognize, one of the very first, you know, if you will, assignments for this group was to write down why you need to be successful in Zegen. That is the motivation. Now, I've heard lots of people say, oh, you know, Fred, you're a great motivational speaker. Well, you know, I'll accept the compliment because it comes from people that don't understand. All right, and I'm not going to fault them for that. But the issue is here is we can, as sponsors, as upline, we can be inspirational, but we cannot be motivational. Okay, I am not a motivational speaker. Okay, now I will accept a sincere compliment of being a inspirational. And the fact of the matter is I've worked very hard to create my story, because the story is what inspires others to believe that they could do it too. This all comes back to the concept of the system that I was talking about before. If it's a simple system, share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same, and that's what everybody does, the 80%ers will, you know, do some of that. They'll do it, you know, fairly often, and they'll do it long enough, and they'll get 80% income. You know, the 10, 12, 15,000 a year, $250 a week, $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. But if it's a simple system, and all I got to do is do a little bit more of it, a little bit more often, a little bit longer, and I can go into a full-time income, $30,000 to $60,000 a year. Well, then a guy like me can do it too. See, 30 years ago, I wasn't who I am today. One of my favorite lines, I could still drive a truck today, but I am not a truck driver anymore. Some of you recall in a previous session, my sponsor said, you know, how much are you worth? I go, well, 100,000 a year. Well, no, you're not. If you were worth 100,000 a year, you'd be making 100,000 a year. I am worth much more now because I am much more now. That's all about the personal development. So we cannot motivate others. We can inspire them through our story. And the system is what creates that mindset that if he can do it, if she can do it, then I can do it. Because all that I have to do is share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. And if I do a little bit more often, a little bit longer, I can move from, you know, 10 to 15,000 a year to 30 to 60,000 a year. And if I keep on doing that a little bit more often, a little bit longer, I could eventually move to $30,000 to $60,000 a month. And see, that's the inspiration we can provide, but we cannot provide the motivation. The final self is self-functioning. Now, we try to assist our new distributors, and I usually do this in the concept of the Get Going meeting, where we teach self-employment mentality. Business owners don't need this. They understand this. Business owners, it's the Jim Rohn Celebrator Fix. Okay? Business owners already know what time to wake up in the morning and what time to open up their shop. They already know the activities they're going to have to do during the day to create income. Donna Stacy is a very successful businesswoman. She's had successful large businesses in the past, and so she understands this. However, 95% of the population work for 5% of the population. 95% of the population are employees, and employees are told when to show up, what to do, and at the end of the day, they go home, independent of the results of their activities. Now, what's interesting about that, hey, Tammy, what's interesting about that is that business owners don't have that luxury. They have to monitor the results on a regular basis. Employees only get the monitoring of the results on their annual or quarterly, whatever performance report, or they get fired, right? So we teach that in the concept of, you know, celebrate or fix. Set up the day before, half a dozen things will make material difference. This is the self-responsibility. David Moses did not call me up to see if I was up in the morning and doing my duty, okay? You know, guys like Scott Asano, he's a self-employed businessman. Nobody calls Scott and says, hey, have you done the work you need to have the next job lined up? Scott has to do that. But we have to appreciate the fact that 95% of our distributors are employees. So we do have to help them with that, but we can provide the information, all right? They have to provide the rest of themselves, the responsibility, the determination, the motivation, and the functioning, the actual doing part. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I've had a few of you ask me to review that, so we got that taken care of. Now, I want to talk about our current status situation. I'm assuming I don't need a show of hands. I just know. Barbie, you want to check your name on your screen there again, okay? You're coming back up as Samsung SMG93B. That's a simple thing. It's a simple thing to put your name in there. Now, I'm assuming, I don't have to take a show of hands, all of you here got the at least one Surf's Up kit. You'll want to double check the documents yourself. It is my understanding that the Surf's Up kits will, the opportunity to receive them for existing distributors will terminate on tomorrow, okay? Amy, is that your understanding as well? Okay. I got a head shake. That's correct, right? All right, very good. This is just the first wave. This is getting all of the existing distributors to buy in. They got to buy into being part of this because Your 80-20 rule, 80% of the people that say they're distributors that are building a business, they're not engaged. They're not active, okay? What we're doing is we're getting the 20%ers to buy in. Now, it's not a huge buy-in, all right? But they're making a commitment. And you can get multiples of these if you want. Now, that's the end of the first wave, getting the existing old guard Zija to come on board with the second wave. Now, the next phase, and I'm going to be candid with you, I can't tell you what the next phase is. I'm going to have to go back and look at the documents. Here's the reason why. I only focus on what is at hand because I only got time to focus on today. So today, it's about getting existing distributors. You need to go back to through your list of existing distributors. Don't waste time on the ones that you already know are the 80%ers. But some could have been 20%ers. Some of them started at a point in time where it was difficult for us to get any traction. Not everybody's Amy McKenzie, okay? So, but get the ones that if they could see what you see, they would want to be involved. Give them a chance to be part of this, okay? We got one more day left. Now, what do you do with your certificates, all right? And I encourage you, Chris and David have been doing an excellent job of getting information into the field on how to position and so on. Don't make the mistake of using these, $40, think about it kits or, positioning kits for everybody. Nothing's changed with our system. If we're prospecting somebody new, we do the invitation, we do the presentation, get an upline story on the line. Let's talk about, what is it going to take to get them in? Where are you? Are you interested in getting involved? What would it take to get you started today? Now, you go through that. Actually, Scott and I had an interesting call with the gal today, and I used one of the little techniques. I said, I forget what her name was, Karen, Maybelline, whatever. Maybelline, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10, you're excited. You're pretty much ready to get going now. And 1, you haven't got any interest at all. Where are you on this scale of 1 to 10? She said, well, I'm 8. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact I've got a couple of things going on right now that's going to take me a couple of weeks to clear up, I'd get started now. Okay. I asked her if there was anything that I might be able to do to help move that forward. Now, that's kind of a second trial balloon, second chance to say yes. And she said, no, it had to do with work and a personal situation or something in her personal life. And so I'm not going to twist her to get a sale today and have her say no and end up, screwing up a potentially good distributor because I was being pushy, okay? So what I did is the fallback position. I said, well, listen, let me see, actually, all permission-based. I said, can I make a suggestion? And she said, well, sure. I said, we have an opportunity right now, and I edified Scott, how, he's serious about building. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's going to be bringing in a lot of people over the next couple of weeks. Let me suggest you get one of our position packs. It's $40, and you get $100, over $100 of free product to try between now and then. See, it's free product. The $40 is the position. The product is free. Isn't that cool? Man, you get over $100 of free product. And what that'll do for you, Maybelline, is it will allow you to get into his business. Then, a couple of weeks from now, things get squared away, you're ready to get started. You could already have some of the organizations Scott's building below you. And she loved the idea. And I mean, that was a slam dunk. But did you notice we went through the prospecting system, attempted to get them in. When we couldn't get them in, I still got a commitment. Okay, she's investing $40 to get a position, and guess what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks? Well, she's, being in a position where she can get started. She's going to experience the product. and she's going to have several opportunities for additional exposure. You know, a David Moses call, you know, the webinar I'm going to do on Tuesday nights for the next 3 cycles, you know, business presentation, Josh's call, whatever. We're going to be able to continue to feed her more and more information. And what are the chances after experiencing the product, getting more exposure to us, what's the likelihood of her coming in? Significantly better than if we said, we understand, we'll call you back in 2 weeks, especially if she's already got 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 people underneath her when the time comes, right? So don't use this. Now, here's what you do with the $40, think about it, kids, if you're going back to other people. Other people that you talk to. Now, I've heard Chris say, you know, people that didn't say yes, but they didn't say no. How about people who said no? If you haven't talked to them a while, you probably need to get back with them. Use this approach. I know this wasn't something for you, but I knew you'd want to know what's happening with me. What are they going to say? No, I don't care what's happening with you. No, they're not going to say that. So, great way to get back with them. And if you get any kind of response, offer them an opportunity to use our product for free. You got a $40 positioning pack. 40 bucks gets them into the genealogy. They get over $100 of free product, no strings attached. Use it. You'll love it. What's the worst thing that could happen? You decide you don't love it. What's the best thing that could happen? You're going to love it and want to get involved, and you could have an organization already starting to build below you. Okay? So use that for those people that have already had exposure, but test their temperature first. You share a little bit about what's happening. We've got a new incentive program in place. We're looking to double the company's distributor base within the next 6 months. They may be interested in figuring out what's going on, so let's not give them the third fallback position. Let's talk about a diamond pack, a gold pack, an enhanced pack, or do they want to be a customer with a personal pack, you know, NRH pack and NHR packages? But if we can't get them there, let's use this one, okay, if they're showing some level of interest. I just want to make sure we're not taking potential business. You know, you got 10, 20, 30, well, if all of you got the one Surf's Up kit for existing distributors, you got 20 of those codes. I just hate to see you spend 20 of those codes when you could have brought in 2 diamond packs, 12 gold packs, and 4 customers, right? Don't do that. You know, let's write the business today. You be aware, I'll send the email out. I've got a little bit of issues with Mom right now, and I had to move out of my house as I'm doing some emergency remodeling. As you can see, this is my new house. I got a fireplace now.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a Marriott Residence Inn. But I've actually lived in places that weren't as big as this. You know, 2-bedroom apartments that were not as big as this. So anyway, I will get an email out hopefully tonight, later on tonight, after I get back from seeing Mom, but outlining the events. But you guys know this is the end of cycle 1, cycle 2, 3, and 4. Tuesday night business presentation webinars. Monday nights David's leadership call. Wednesday night Josh. Saturday morning of cycle 4, I will do a virtual Super Saturday. Now, if you have local events in your area, go do your local. If you got Super Saturdays and you got big guns coming from out of town, go do that. Otherwise, I would encourage you to consider doing a in-home presentation. Call it a Super Saturday. And then what I'll do is I will plug in your meeting. If you got 3 or 4 people in the living room, set up your computer where the camera's showing on them. We'll have them be part of our virtual Super Saturday. Okay, we'll share testimonials. I'll do the brief business presentation. If some of you are involved with small groups, then that's even better, because then we can have Atlanta and Denver and so on, Seattle, what have you, as part of it, and it can all be little groups in the living room. And then I'll do a fast start training, and I'll be refining the fast start training, getting it down, because I'm going to have an opportunity in Las Vegas. I've been asked to do a fast start training for new distributors as part of the Las Vegas regional. So I want to do good, and so I'll practice on Saturday. Well, you know, I got to do good. Everybody thinks I am, right? And then last thing, we're kind of moving past a time frame where, I mean, I'm going to continue as these things occur to me to share with you more of the things that have made the meaningful differences to me. You need to come to the Florida Regional. I will be there, Cindy, at the Florida Regional. By the way, folks, I'm going to both regionals, folks. I'm going to fly to Florida. I think it's the 16th of June, and the following weekend I'll fly to Vegas via M6, right? 6-hour drive from my house, 4 hours in my car. 3.5 hours if I slug a couple of these down. So I will be at both regionals. Now it'll be in and out in Florida, Cindy. I'll showing up Friday. I'll be out Sunday, but let's make maximum time. 36 hours on the ground, and I don't need to sleep. Okay, let's line them up. So what I would like you to do for our next session on Saturday is submit questions to me via email. Now let me give you a little hint. If your email is more than 1 or 2 sentences long, I will never see it. Okay? So if you have a question that you would like to have brought up on Saturday, send it to me via email. That way I can kind of help you out. Oh, come on, Brian, I'm not that boring. I mean, I'm not that exciting either, but I'm not that boring. That's part of the problem of being on camera, isn't it? No picking your nose. Okay, and so I will continue to provide, the kinds of things that I want to share with you, but we're now moving into a time frame because we've now completed the first period. We're now cycle 1 of the second of our 3 periods that will be together. And so now I'm going to try and start refining for each one of you what it is that you're doing. Let's figure out any rough spots we've got. Let's get past those. It'll be a little different for everybody because as I look at the screen, I've got different people at different stages of development of their business. I've got, diamond level earners. I got Barbie Stahl. I got Amy. I've got, up and coming, the next generation of diamonds like, Rory and Tammy and Brian and Kate, Joni. We've got some relatively Berdina's already platinum. I mean, she's a story in Egypt. But then I also have some very new people. And so what I'm looking to be able to do is provide for you, more hands-on guidance on what you're doing. And the new people, you're the ones that I need to be working with, okay? Because you're, people like Marvin just really getting started with this. Melissa, AKA Andrea, has been around for a while, but we need to be refining the process. So don't worry about being too new, because there's other new people that will need the same kind of advice. Be the one that speaks up and asks the question. For some of you that have more maturity in the business, this will be helpful review for how to work with your new people. And then for those of you that have a little bit more maturity in the business, here I'm looking at, the Halls, Carlette, Brian, and Kate, and so on. Issues that you may have will be beneficial to both the diamond and emerald level leaders as well as the brand new people. So send me those questions. Keep it succinct. Okay, just help me with that one, and I'll do my best to respond and use that as for topics of Saturday. All right, so we got it. We're down to 30 minutes. Let's take another few minutes. What is going on that I might be able to help with right now? Let me see who's chatting at me. Got some valuable info from corporate today. I could share quickly at the end. Daniela, okay, hang on. Brian and Kate said, yes, please. May I have some more? Let's see. Amen to that. Don't know what it was I said. You're going to have to tell him. He said he doesn't check the sidebar. You're going to have to tell him he doesn't check the sidebar. Yes, please do. You need to come to Florida the Regional. Okay, Danielle, go ahead and unmute yourself. What's happening?
Okay, I'm going to go to my messages, and so my video will go off, but I'm just reading what I pre-wrote out so I could be.
Okay, you also muted yourself, my dear. Let me see if I can unmute. All right, go ahead, Danielle. I got you.
Okay, see if it mutes me if I go into my messages.
Okay.
Does it mute me, or am I good?
You're good. Go ahead.
Okay, the first question, do prospects that use the ticket code for $40 have to purchase an NHR system? The answer was no. They can be active for 75 PV, but they will not receive any extra tickets for their system, and they will not receive a chance for the FFC for 660 or 1320. So that was a question I had for some people. And then this next question is, if the prospect gets the basic NHR system, so this is buying into the system after the $40 ticket, can they add product? Like if they wanted to do a 660 or 1320, do they have to get that exact system? The answer is no. They can purchase the basic NHR system and build product till they hit that 660 or 1320. And they'll still get the fast start commissions, but they'll only get 10 tickets for that basic NHR. So they can build, but they do have to get the basic. And then how do I move a rock from a rock to my tree, which I'm going to move about 3. So they'll have to terminate their existing rock account. And the way they do that is through written a request to support@zija.corp.com. But after they terminate it, they'll be able to go into your tree with the ticket code. If they have rewards points, tell them to spend it before they terminate. And then corporate also suggested that they become a new distributor using, a different Zija account, and then go through the written process. That way, for time purposes, they can just get under your tree. So I had those 3 questions. So I hope that is clarity for anyone that needed it for those things.
Okay, now you got that information from distributor support.
Yes.
Okay.
I was on the phone with Debbie Ballmart this morning for a while.
Okay.
With corporate.
Okay, very good. Now, let me clarify something here. Thank you for the information, Danielle, and I appreciate you sharing that with everybody. Hey, Dee Dee. Now,
Hey, Fred.
let me help you with something real quick. Distributor support their purpose is to answer questions about the comp plan, procedures, address problems with ordering, and so on. They're distributor support. They are not distributors. Okay? Do not ask distributor support their advice on how to build your business, because they're not distributors. And there was one glaring problem I heard. Okay? Somebody wants to start with the $40, the Surf's Up kit. And your question was, how do they then become a distributor? All right. Now, distributor support answered the question, but they don't know how to build a business. If somebody starts with the $40 positioning kit and they want to become a distributor, I'm not going to try and figure out how to finesse them in with their $40 investment, how to leverage their $40 investment. Okay, I can't get out of Denny's for $40. All right, so we're not trying to leverage that previous investment. They got product and they got a position. Now, do they want to activate the position? Great. This is, let me suggest, I got started with the Diamond Pack. There's a tremendous amount of advantages. You get all of the products And you got leverage because you got a lot of products that are available to sell, you know, to sample out. And most of the time, people will start where you start. Now, if you can't start with that, here's a gold pack. Great option. Some of my top people started with gold packs. Still a little bit too much money? Well, we got an enhanced system, what I call the family pack. Now you're going to run out of product pretty quick, but hey, get in where you can. What's a personal system? Oh, that's a customer. I thought you wanted to build a business. Okay, I am not going to try
Excellent.
to nest them in with a $40 capitalization of their business. Number two, can they start with the enhanced system and then get some other products they want that are different than the gold system, get another, you know, 250 PV and be, you know, start with a gold system? Okay, no. Do not customize the kits. The business is a business of duplication. The minute you start going to customization of the kits, every single person from then on is going to customize their kit.
Okay.
All right. It takes, and I'm not pointing my finger at you, Dan.
No. I
You
love
brought
it.
it up.
Give it to me.
And I'm trying to give everybody the concept.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, the minute we start customizing kits, then that's the system. How long do you want to take to sign somebody up? 3 minutes. That's it. When I sign somebody up, I go, unless it has a red asterisk next to the box that has to be filled in, unless there's a red asterisk there, I don't ask the question. I don't ask people, do they want their spouse's name in there? I don't ask them what they want for a company name. I don't ask them what they want for their user ID. I don't ask them what the auto ship is. We've already decided they're getting a gold pack. That's it. I don't even offer them options. It's like boom, 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 boom. I start asking, you know, what would you like your business name to be? Do you want a business name? Do you want your spouse's name on it? You know, what would you like your username to be? Because your username is going to also be your website name. And you watch how quickly people got to take a step back and go into prayer over what the website name should be. I mean, really. All that stuff can be changed later. Okay? Get them in. Strike while the iron is hot. Here's the deal. Get them in, get them trained, get them going, get them a paycheck. You'd be surprised how quickly questions fade away when people are making money. Okay? So I'm just telling you, let me go back to the couple I just brought in. He gets this. I mean, they both get it, okay? But he was much more of the business builder. She was much more of the product person. And she doesn't know anything about oil. They already knew they wanted the big pack. Why did they already know they wanted the big one?
Because they wanted 50% commissions.
No, they wanted that to be their story. They started with a diamond pack. These folks are multi-level pros. They're multiple million-dollar income earners. They looked at the packages and right away they realized they needed the 1320 kit. Why? It's the biggest package there is. That's why. Same thing with me. When I got involved with Zija, now, back then we had one product. My first can of Zija showed up with 350 cans next to it. Okay? My first 3 distributors signed up with the 320 pack. We called it a Z10, 10 cases of 32 cans, right? So their first Moringa drink that they sampled showed up with 319 other cans. Why did they do that? Because that's what I did, right? So they understood that part. Now, Sandy, the wife, she doesn't know anything about oils. She says, I don't know about those oils. I don't know about those oils. That's magic voodoo to her. You know, can I get something else? And I said, well, first of all, testimony on the oils. I didn't know anything about oils. I can't live without them now. I'm confused. I got 5 oil stations, 3 diffusers going around the clock. got to have the oils. This is what's happened to me. This is what happened to my mom. This is what happened to my sister. You really need to use the oils. And we want to stay with the standardized packages. And Gary kind of, steps in over her and goes, I got it. Sandy, we're getting the oils. Don't customize the package. Don't customize the package. Fun, simple, magical. All right? And the minute you start customizing packages for your new distributor, I guarantee you every distributor he or she brings in will have a customized package. Okay? And then the question about double FSB, how long does that last? I have no idea. I don't have the time to read the document. Go read the document. This is what I know. Okay? You get double FSB right now. Sign up, you're going to get double FS. Oh, you're going to get it for 12 weeks if you get a gold pack. You're going to get it for 24 weeks if you get a diamond pack. Imagine every diamond, you're going to start with a diamond pack, or I start with a diamond pack. If you do the same thing, every diamond pack you bring in, it's 1,000 PV. We get 25%. That's $250. But now you get $500, 3 diamond packs, and you're in profit, and you haven't done anything yet. We can get 3 people in before your product gets on the street.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and the answer to your question is read the documentation. Tell me about it, okay?
Got it.
All right, we're at 6:45, folks. Are we good for now? Darren, you keep raising your hand, and I keep lowering your hand. Do you have something you need to ask me, sir?
I only raised my hand once.
I'm sorry?
I only raised my hand once, and that was a long time ago.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. You got a question,
Oh, I
buddy?
know.
Are you good?
That was getting the Surf's Up kit. You asked the people to have to raise their hand, but I rose my hand anyway.
Oh. What happened here? Shared content. Somebody just took over my screen. How'd that happen? You're viewing Donna Stacy's view options, original size. How are you sharing your screen without my permission, Donna?
It's magical.
I was trying to get my picture on my screen. I thought that would do it.
That really blows me away. I didn't know that you could do that.
Here we go.
Wow. I thought I was the Zoom god.
You were the only wizard, huh?
Yeah, I thought so. You know my favorite line. It's how I live my life. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. All right, very good. Donna, where'd you go? There you are. We need to get on that call as quick as we can because I need to get over and see Mom, okay? So I'll check in with you here in a couple of minutes. And folks, Saturday morning, be on time. Tommy Chapa will be with us, submit questions, and great spending some time with you guys. I'm excited for you.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fred.
Bye-bye.